You can see what the climate of the year is saying. You can see what the atmosphere is demanding of you, and you can adjust in that regard and capitalize on the remaining 6 months, right? But you see, the challenge is that because people do not understand this concept of momentum, resistance and momentum, because people do not understand it, they assume that the moment they have itemized what it is that they want to do in January, things are supposed to kick into form immediately. No, you will face resistance because the new year is coming with its own, policies and stipulations. That means you will fight it and continue to push your own agenda to a point where it has become second nature, and then momentum can come in and assist you coast through the rest of the year. That's how it works. And you see, what's interesting about it is that if you have built momentum and you are working through the year, and by working I don't mean like slave yourself away, but mentally you are locked in. Mentally you are still in the zone. You will not need to have any resistance object that is in its resting position. No, you are already in motion. Momentum is already there with you. You are in a state of flow, so you just power through it. It's why you realize a lot of successful people don't like holidays, and even through the holidays they still try to work through the holidays, because the most important asset of a successful person is momentum. That's it. Because they are constantly reminded of the fight that they have to fight to build it in the first place. So they are like, nah, never again, never again. Let me just continue with motion. Let me continue with this momentum that I've built. And you see, one thing about momentum is that it attracts things. It attracts mentalities, it attracts people. It's why you just see how you start thinking of something consistently. And before you know it, you start seeing it everywhere around you. There are different interpretations for it, law of attraction, all of these things. It's momentum because it is said that is what you fixate your mind on consistently. So it has to be something that is sustained over time. And you just realize that you run into people who have, understanding, or people gravitate towards me a lot. That has been a fact of my entire life. First of all, I knew I would be famous. I knew that, I knew my name. Two, I knew that whatever it is that I will eventually do in this world will have to do with people. So automatically that removes me from operations in tech. Do you understand? Or things that I have to deal with people, because it's people who gravitate towards me most seamlessly. When I started doing music, I thought music was it, because again, you have to deal with people. I thought music was it. That didn't pan out. I started doing comedy content. That panned out really great, right? Posts went viral, all of that stuff, working with brands, making money and stuff. I thought that was it because again, I was dealing with people. But in the process of doing all those skits, I was still telling my guys that these skits, for the record, I hated being called a skit maker. I hated it. I felt it was very limiting for me. I always told my friends, I said, this thing I'm doing is a means to an end. Now, the end, I don't know what it is. It will affect whatever I want to do next. Now, the thing I wanted to do next, I didn't know it. But I knew if I stay too long here, I will be put in a box. Do you understand? I'll be put in a box, and it will be very difficult for me to, you can reinvent, you can transition, but it will be harder. So I have to stop. So it's not like maybe the content dipped when I stopped. No, you know how crazy the content was. You know how viral it was. 7 months after I stopped doing it, 9 Mobile reached out and made me brand ambassador just because of that content. For you to know how strong it was. So it was not like, it was on the downward spiral, and then the ovation was very loud when I stopped it. I just stopped and I just plunged into uncertainty. I didn't know what I was going to do next. It was just a period where I had to go deep into myself and start to really understand how I saw life, life from my perspective, and how I wanted to live it. Remember all of the plethora of useless knowledge that I had? That's where they now gained expression. So I was able to make sense of different things. I was able to link so many unrelated concepts together because I had read wide.